Hey guys, call sign JoNay here. Welcome to day 3, flight 2 of my one-man army experiment. So, I don't know. Things are going good, I guess, officially when I log into and load this campaign. It says the situation is good, but I don't really feel like it's going super good. We're standing our ground, but nobody's moving forward. And what I'm kind of learning is things are regenerating a lot quicker than I thought they were. I mentioned this on a couple of my previous videos. Air bases that I ran Oka strikes on are back to repaired and operational within like 24 hours of game time. And not only that, but some of these tank battalions that I previously struck are also the same. So this is the 5th Air Mobile. 1st Armored Brigade, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th Tank Battalions. So these are the ones that I struck. When was this? This was like day 2, flight 2, I believe. It was sometime on day 2 when I struck these. It was a Block 40 F-16 flight. Where I was escorting those A-10s all the way from, Kunsan. And at the end of the mission, I'm just reading this off of my phone, the first was down to, I believe that's 54%. The second was down to something like 30. The third was down to like 42. The 4th was down to, I think, 75, it says, and this one was down to 70. So you can see that they've all regenerated quite a lot. They're actually almost all fully regenerated after only about a day in the campaign. So I'm kind of thinking that I might need to start being more thorough with these. Instead of fragging multi-flight, A-10 pre-planned CASs and assigning one flight per tank battalion, I might have to assign like multiple flights to each tank battalion and just kind of focus on one battalion per flight or 1 or 2 key battalions per flight and really try to bring them down to either 0% or a threshold that allows them to retreat. So with that being said, what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be a single ship F-18 from the Vincent for this flight. And I'm going to be going after the 1st Tank Battalion. I'm going to be bringing 4 JSOWs. This is going to be part experimenting, part testing. So I'm going to try the same 2,400 foot spacing, all 4 JSOWs on one line of tanks. There's more than 20 targets down there. There's something like 30 targets down there. And I'm going to try, instead of 2,500 foot entry game altitude, end game entry altitude, I'm going to try 2,000 feet because 1,500 didn't feel super effective, 2,500 didn't feel super effective, so I'm going to try 2,000. And I'm also going to try reducing the entry angle as well. The entry angle, I can't remember what it defaults at, 45 or 55. If I reduce it maybe down to 20 or something, in theory it should make the footprint more elliptical. I mean, in real life that's what it would do. I'm not sure about BMS though, but we'll give it a try. So it's going to be kind of part experimenting. The second part of this flight is going to be an escort for a strike package. 4 flights of tornadoes from Sachon. Sachon is above 50%, so tornadoes can now operate out of there. And they are going to be striking war production facilities. Let's see if I can bring up the names here. Where are the labels? Show object labels. Okay, so we've got the Muko Steel Mill, Muko Power Plant, Muko Cement Factory, which we're not striking, actually that's low value. And then, God, I can't read the white on the yellow. It's like Pukpyong Cement and Samchok Cement. These all range in value from very high to medium. I think there's a very high, 2 highs, and a medium. I'm not going to go recon them to show you that. It's like too hard to move steer points out of the way and do that. and the recon screen is really slow sometimes. So the A10 or the A10s, the Tornadoes are set to depart from Satchon, staggered by 2-minute departure delays. So in 20 minutes from now, and then 22, 24, and 26. And they'll be hitting their targets with roughly the same delays because they're all very close to each other. So the first flight will be hitting around 7 o'clock, and the next one will be 7:02, 7:04, and 7:06 approximately on all those targets. What I've got them loaded up with is a weapon I'm not too familiar with. It is the Taurus KEPD 350. So apparently it's like a cruise missile, a pretty long-range cruise missile. It weighs, here's the gross weight of the plane right there. It's just under 5,400 pounds. If I take it off, it's 50.5. So it's right around 3,500 pounds. So I'm going to assume that it has quite a wallop. And being 2-ship flights, I'm hoping that 2 of these suckers are enough to take down each of these robust buildings, these reactors and whatnot that we're going after, processing facilities. According to Wikipedia and other websites, those cruise missiles have a range of like 500 kilometers, which is like 250 nautical miles. Now, that's in the real world. I'll have no idea if that's what's going to happen in BMS. So I've got their IP set 100 nautical miles away from the target steer points. And again, this is going to be another aspect of the flight that's going to be kind of experimentation. I really want to see what these A-10s are going to do, what kind of range that they actually deploy these big cruise missiles from. And I'm also curious to see what they do afterwards, because that is the only ordnance that they've got, the only air-to-ground ordnance that they've got. There's no other bombs, no nothing. They just have 2 heaters each for self-defense. So I'm wondering, I'm not sure about this, but I'm wondering if they're going to like RTB directly. Like let's say they deploy their missiles right after they get to steer 4 and they deploy them from 100 nautical miles away. Are they going to just RTB now that they're Dakota, or are they going to continue all the way to their flight plan and then like just continue with it? I'm not sure what they're going to do. So we're going to hopefully learn a lot from this mission. Like I said, I'm doing kind of a hybrid sort of pre-planned CAS and Escort. So my loadout is, I already kind of mentioned, I'm going to have 4 JSOWs on the inner pylons. I'm going to have 2 double racks of AMRAAMs to the left and right of that, along with a conformal AMRAAM and my TGP and a centerline tank, as well as the obligatory wingtip missiles, which, yeah, they are AIM-9X. So I only got 5 AMRAAMs, which is a little bit less than I want, but I figure if if the A-10s, I keep calling them A-10s, if the Tornadoes are going to be engaging from pretty far standoff range, then maybe I won't need that many missiles to protect them. Maybe I won't even need any at all. That's kind of what I'm hoping. I just didn't want to frag this mission and have like 9 AMRAAMs and have no need for them and just have this kind of boring escort flight. So I figure this kind of is the most logical choice. So as I depart from the Vincent, I'm going to come south, get up to cruise altitude. I'm going to engage the tank column over here. I've got my IP 50 miles away. We will make a mark point, the appropriate mark points, and deploy around 20 miles. And then we're going to come south, and there's also support. There's a tanker over here taking off at around 520 as well. I think it's, I can't remember what it's getting to its on-station steer point. I think it's 635 or something. So after we get those JSOWs off, we're going to come south and rendezvous with the tanker. Get some fuel, and then our steer 4 and 5 are in line with that ingress kind of leg of the Tornado's flight plan as they move to their IP. So we will hopefully get some fuel and then hook up somewhere with the tornadoes there. Let's just check real quick when the tornadoes are getting there. So they are scheduled to be there at 6:37, so 3 minutes after the tanker's on station. And they are scheduled to get to their IP at 6:51. So that gives us a good 15-minute window to grab fuel and meet up with them at some point on this leg before they get to their IP. Should all work out pretty well. We should learn a lot from this, you know, in terms of behavior, what kind of behavior to expect from AI flights after they've gone to COTA. We'll get a little bit more information on how to properly use JSOWs. We'll get a little bit of information on those Taurus KEPD 350 weapons. And we'll continue to learn more about how to properly go about chipping away at this campaign when things regenerate so quickly. Okay, so that's basically the briefing. We will see you guys on the deck of the Vincent. Okay, we are in the pit and just getting ready to get ramped up and on our way. Whoops. Feels like it's been a while since I've flown the F-18. So we'll see how this ramp start goes. The rust in BMS builds up pretty quick. If you don't use it, you lose it. It's definitely true in this game. So, yeah, we'll see what happens here. Hopefully I don't forget anything too important. All right. Man, the DED is so slow. Let's go. There you go. Marshall, Sting 1-1, checking in on Uniform 15, requesting QNH.
Sting 13017.
3017, copy, Sting 1. Okay, so we will start out with a joker of 10.7, which represents our internal fuel when the center line will be empty, basically. Although, you know what? I'm not even totally sure that the center line drains first in the F-18, but whatever, we'll just go with it. Let's go to air to ground. We'll power up the JSOWs. We're going to release them in tandem with a 2,400 foot spacing. And is we're going to leave the azimuth default for now and wait till we verify the orientation of the tanks. For endgame entry altitude, we're going to try 2,000 feet because, I don't know, 2,500 felt like we didn't get quite as many kills. And yeah, I don't see an angle for like an attack angle or a descent angle. I'm pretty sure that exists for the J dams. I thought it did for the J sows as well. I was going to try to like further alter the footprint by making it more shallow, but I don't think we have that ability. So we're just going to have to go with that. Okay. And we'll put the TGP in air to ground. And TGP in air to air for nav. Actually, you know what? For nav, I'm going to put it in air to ground. And in MRM override, I'm going to put it in air to air. And I think that's for dogfight as well. Yeah. Okay. So for both of the air to air master mode overrides, it'll be air to air mode. Okay. FCR is timed out. Let's turn on the RWR and get our countermeasures set up. There we go. I think that's about it. INS is good, so we'll set nav. Okay, so this dotted line here represents the tanker track. And this dotted line represents the flot. SA3 circle, and this tiny little dotted line box over here is the kill box where the factories are. This line of our flight plan represents is overlaid right over the I was going to say the A-10, but the Tornado's flight plan. So we're going to try to intercept them somewhere along here and escort them to this point. I believe this point is their IP. It should be about 100 miles from here to here. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's 100 miles. No, it doesn't actually look like it. Pretty sure it's 100 miles though in the briefing. Yeah, it is. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see at what range the Tornadoes actually deploy their big cruise missiles. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's arm the ejection seat. Turn on the landing lights and pitot tube, even though I don't think it's implemented. I think we're ready. Marshall Sting 11 is moving to Mount 1 for departure.
Sting 11, ready for departure.
Taxi. Hold short.
Sting 1. Okay, we're hooked in, and we'll unfold the wings, and we're going to go full for flaps for sure. Nose wheel steering off. Sting 1-1, good tension, good power. Salute.
Sting 1-1. Resume on navigation.
Okay. Retracting the flaps and leaning right and back left, heading 090, out of burn. Going to maintain right around 300 casts. And just casually climb our way up to about 500 feet here. There we go, 500. We're to steady up here and extend till we're about 7 miles away from Mother. Alright, 7 miles, we'll switch to steer 2. We'll go buster and pitch back right. It'll be probably kind of like a southward heading here. We've set up steer 2 to be just kind of a point where we can extend to get a little bit of space, get up to our cruise altitude, and just get set for our ingress on the tank battalion. Okay, we're on heading. I'll set the usual autopilot settings. Got like a little bit of like turbulence kind of here. I'm just gonna fight it a little bit. Sometimes I feel like the autopilot almost resonates sometimes when you get into like some wind like that, and it keeps trying to adjust, but then it over adjusts, so now it has to over adjust for the over adjustment, and it creates like a resonance frequency, like when you see in real life, you know, those bridges or whatever that just kind of start resonating in the wind, and then they just completely collapse. Sometimes I feel like if you fight the autopilot just a little bit, it takes away that resonance, and you get your level kind of calm flight back. What's our cruise altitude going to be, by the way? Oh wow, only 14,000 feet. Okay, interesting. So we're almost there. Pushing up through 12.5 now, looking for 14. And there's 14. So nose over. And I'm going to set an altitude hold. And we're just going to continue on this heading for now. Let's go ahead and fence in. Do a flare check.
Chaff, flare.
Do a chaff check.
Chaff, flare.
Do a jammer check. Okay, we're all checked out and fenced in.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 110, 100 miles, 16,000.
Could be a factor, actually. Sentry Sting 1, single ship F-18 Charlie, departing from the Vinson. We are pre-planned CAS and Escort for package 26697.
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1. Request picture. Sting 1-1, Chalice 1, picture clear.
Sting 1.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles, 16,000.
115, 100 miles. Yeah, I don't know. Could be a factor. Sort of right over there. Yeah. 16,000 though. Probably not fighters. Alright, we're getting close to Steer 2. I'm just going to manually switch us over to Steer 3 and let the AP take us there. And we'll fire up the radar here. One thing that we have not done, we will put the tornadoes into the data link. So as usual, 1-1, 2-1, 3-1, and 4-1 will be the flight leads of all the tornadoes. And we will establish the link.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles, 16,000.
Yeah, we got strobes. Yeah, just a little bit north of the AO. It could be an issue. But if they're only at 16,000, I'm hoping they're not fighters. Might as well turn on some ACMI. Oh yeah, it's over here. And we're 40 miles out from the steer point. Yeah, those strobers are making me a little nervous.
Bingo.
Okay, we're already at Joker, so I will reset the bingo for 5.4. I'm going to come off the power a little bit, actually. I don't want to jump into this situation before I know a little bit more. I'm just a little bit nervous.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 110, 100 miles, 22,000.
Sentry declare contact bullseye 107-095, 16,000.
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1, declare. Sting 1-1, Chalice 1, contact confirmed hostile.
I actually did see a contact right here at around 22,000, which very well could be a fighter. Now I don't see it anymore. Okay, I'm going to go heads down real quick. There's the column. They do look like they're lined east to west. So as usual, I'm going to lock up something around the 1/4 mark. Make a mark point, select it. Zero the cursor data. And make another one around the 3/4 point. Another mark point. Good. Zero the cursor data again. Okay, so now we have to enter that into the azimuth. We're going to make that 270 because that's straight west. Enter. And we're almost in range. Let's cancel real quick. Okay, the contacts at 22,000, which I think might be fighters, look like they're kind of out cold. So I'm going to go back to air to ground. And I'm going to try to pickle these weapons off real quick.
115, 100 miles, 22,000.
Okay, so we're going to pickle off 2 weapons on Steer 2.6, and I'm going to switch to Steer 2.7 and pickle off the next 2. We look like we're in range. So, Yeah, let's do this.
Cruiser.
Ah, I didn't deploy the second one. Unbelievable. Okay, so I got a hung store there. Let's switch to steer 27. Hopefully this behaves a little bit better. Am I going too fast or something? Okay, next one.
Cruiser.
And there it goes. Okay, we're going to come off the autopilot.
Caution. Caution.
And we're Cat 1 apparently.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 80 miles, 22,000.
That was really annoying. Yeah, I was holding the pickle the whole time there. I didn't make that same mistake I made with the ripple in the last video. Okay, let's just come around to, I don't know, heading 180 probably. And we've got the TGP now fixed on the columns at steer 26. And we'll just try to get visual of the shacks. Alright, there we go. There's a cloud right in the way. Come on, cloud, get out of the way.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 110, 100 miles, 22,000.
Sentry Sting 1, request bogey dope.
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1, request vector to threat. Sting 1, Chalice 1, nearest hostile, MiG-19s, 3-ship, bullseye, 115, 100 miles, 14,000.
Okay, so we just saw the impacts. Yeah, I think that should be it. Looks like we got decent damage. I don't know what that second JSOW is going to do. Oh, we got pretty high and slow here. What's our cruise altitude? New cruise altitude is going to be 22,000, so came up a little bit too high. Let's roll over, come down to 22,000. Get some speed back. And get that air-to-ground radar altimeter on too. Or the ground radar altimeter. What was I going to say? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what that second JSOW did.
100 miles, 22,000.
Because when you deploy them in tandem, kind of, and you, let's say you set like a 2,400 foot spacing, the first JSOW goes to 1,200 feet before the mark that you made, and the second one goes to 1,200 feet after it. So the first one, I'm sure, will go to 1,200 feet before the mark, but now that the second one didn't deploy as a tandem, what's it going to do? You know, is it going to also go to 1,200 feet before the mark, or is it going to, no? I don't know. So we'll see what happened in the ACMI, but that was a pretty botched deployment for sure. Okay, so we're down to Angels 2-2. Let's put the altitude hold on here. And we're just going to flow out south towards the tanker track. We got Patriots off to the 1 o'clock, hopefully doing some work against those MiG-19s that Sentry called out. I'm going to turn the volume down just a tad over here. Sentry Sting 1, can I get a vector to the tanker?
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1, request vector to tanker.
Whoops.
Sting 1, Chalice 1, tanker, Camel 1, bullseye, 130, 260 miles. Tech end channel 29er Yankee.
29er Yankee, copy Sting 1.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 80 miles, 22,000.
Okay, so it's still en route to its on station point. It's kind of around here-ish. And I think it's going to be going here, not here. But just to be safe, I'm going to kind of like aim myself towards the middle of the track. Yeah, we'll say heading 135. That works nicely with the grid I usually like to use. Oh yeah, I'm just starting to get visual. So I got a TGP point on them now. And we'll snooze the radar. Miles. Oh, lost TGP on them.
Dallas 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles, 14,000.
Okay. Oh, there they are. Just going to wait for him to turn onto his track. It looks like he's still not quite there yet. I think he needs to make a right-hand turn. And then we'll request some fuel. Should be turning. There we go.
Dallas 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles, 22,000.
Camel 1, Sting 1-1 saddled up left side, requesting refuel.
Camel 1-1, Sting 1-1. Request clearance to refuel. Sting 1-1, Camel 1-1. Copy. Sting 1-1, Camel 1-1. You are cleared to pre-contact position.
Camel 1, Sting 1, copy, moving to pre-contact. Okay, so he's accelerating, I think, to 300.
Sting.
Maybe
1-1,
310 actually.
Camel 1-1. Cleared to contact position.
Camel 1, Sting 1-1, copy, moving to contact position. It's a little bit too far forward.
Contact.
Sting 1-1, contact, good flow.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles, 22,000. Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 110, 100 miles, 22,000. Disconnect.
Camel 1, Sting 1, copy, disconnect, moving off to the right side. Camel 1, Sting 1-1 is all topped up, thanks to the gas.
Camel 1-1, topped off and ready to go. Roger.
Okay, what is our new cruise altitude now? 20,000, which we're actually currently at. And let's swing right, see if we can pick up these tornadoes. They're on the data link. And we'll fence ourselves back in. They're all about 40 miles out or so. I'll come down to about 90%. Let them come to me.
Radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles, 22,000.
115, 100 miles. That's like the same bullseye they've been calling for since the start of the mission. Sentry, Sting 1, requesting bogey dope.
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1. Request vector to threat. Sting 1, Chalice 1. I don't have anything right now.
Sting 1. Actually going to come down to 18,000. See if we can maybe form up with one of these groups.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles, 22,000.
Let's get a speed check on them. They look like they're going about 380. They're about 5 miles off the nose somewhere. Should be able to see them.
Lock.
Radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles, 22,000. Tempest 2-1, ready spike.
Tempest 2-1, Sting 1-1, copy buddy lock. Just trying to lock you up so I can find you. So hazy. Okay, we'll get the TGP stabilized on them. Uh, 5 miles out.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115,
Okay, I see
100
them.
miles, 22,000.
Kind of right there. I've got the wingman in the TGP. I want to get the flight lead. I'm going to go in slew mode, just kind of look off the left side.
Lock.
Tempest 2-2, ready spike.
That's the that's the wingman again. Give me just the
Lock.
flight lead.
Charger 2-1, ready spike.
Okay, that's... Is that him? Why does it say he's right... Oh, okay. That's weird. I see, like, other ones, too. Oh, come on. Lost lock.
Lock. Lock.
There we go.
Charger 2-2, ready spike.
Charger
Chalice
2-2,
radar
Sentry 1,
contact
copy
bullseye.
buddy lock.
115, 100 miles, 22,000.
I keep getting the wingman, I think. I want to form up with the flight lead. Maybe I'll just form up with these ones who are close to us.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 80 miles, 22,000.
Let's see if we can get in nice and tight here. Yeah, they're going about 390. Pretty nice model. Actually, I've never been this close to a tornado before in BMS. You can see that big cruise missile off the bottom. Man, the vertical stabilizer of the tornado is gigantic.
Chaff, flare.
Attack target. Bullseye. 090, 100 miles.
Okay, it looks like the first flight up ahead of us have reached their IP. It looks like they also climbed a bit. Whoa!
Tempest 2. Attack target. Bullseye. 085, 100 miles.
Oh my god. Pulled like 50 G's there. Wow. That was ridiculous.
Lock.
Tempest 2-1. Buddy select.
Tempest 2-1, Sting 1-1, buddy lock. I keep forgetting my call sign. I'm so used to saying cowboy. Just want to get your speed.
Lock.
It says 410. Oh, they're accelerating. It says 420 now. I'm not really gaining. Okay, I'm going to select steer point 11 because that's one of the like war production facilities. So we're about 88 miles out to be exact. So it'll be interesting to see at what point these guys pickle their cruise missiles. They're really starting to speed up.
Tracker 2. Attack target. Bullseye. 090, 100 miles.
I'm actually having problems keeping up to them. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I'd say they're going about 450? Maybe 460? Sentry 1, Sting 1-1, requesting bogey dope.
Chalice 1. Sting 1-1. Request vector to threat. Sting 1. Chalice 1. I don't have anything right now.
Sting 1. I haven't heard anybody call Bruiser yet, though, have I? Or did I just not hear it?
Trojan 2. Attack target. Bullseye. 090, 100 miles.
Sentry 1, Sting 1-1, declare contact, bullseye 112, 100, 15,000.
Bruiser, Chalice 1, Sting 1-1, declare. Bruiser, Sting 1-1, Chalice 1, contact confirmed hostile.
Yeah, I know they're hostile. Jesus. Okay, so the first A10s, the first tornadoes went Bruiser. I see them actually coming off left Dakota, just off in the distance there. We are at 56 miles. I kind of think these guys are going to pickle at 50. Even though, according to Wikipedia and stuff, these weapons have like a range of like 250 nautical miles. Yeah, okay, the flight lead, and yeah, there goes the cruise missile.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye, 115, 100 miles, 2,000.
That's cool. I can still see the flight lead's cruise missile right there. Okay, we got contacts, left gimbal, 22,000. Speed's really slow, but the 22,000 is making me think that they're fighters or something. And we gotta go master arm. We got mud 15 to our 2 o'clock. I'm gonna go Twiz mode. Actually, I'm not gonna go Twiz mode. I'm just going to bug these two guys. I don't want to get confused with anything else in the radar's field of view.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye, 120, 100.
Okay, range is 30 miles, speed's 300, Angels 2-2. They're hot on me, MiG-29s on the RWR. Okay, so Fox 3 and Fox 3. And I'm going to crank. Music on. They probably already shot at me. I'm stupid, I didn't turn on music earlier. So I'm going to come off cold when I get Husky. About 10 seconds out from Husky. Yeah, we've got Husky. I'm coming off cold. Just in case there's missiles inbound. Yep, there's missiles inbound. So music off now.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye, 115, 120 miles, 1,000.
I think we're pretty clear of them though. The M doesn't look that close on my RWR. Okay, defeated the missiles. I'm going to scan off my right gimbal and look for those MiG-29s again. Sentry Sting 1-1, bogey dope.
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1, request vector to threat. Sting 1, Chalice 1, I don't have anything right now.
I think Sentry is just too far away. We have something at Angels 2 here though.
Chalice 1, radar
Flowing out cold from us. Speed's 500. They're on the deck, 23 miles out.
Bruiser,
What is that?
Bruiser,
That's just like a IL-28 or something. I think I splashed the MiG-29s. Let's come up higher because I'm close to some AAA and a mud 15. Cruise altitude is like 26,000. Alright, I'm going to come back off towards the package. 26,000 now. I'm going to dip the nose just a little bit below the horizon. Take back some of that extra altitude to keep our speed up. Okay. I think everybody's deployed their bruisers. I'm still 50 miles out though from those war production facilities, so unless I push north a bit, I'm not going to be able to confirm these shacks or do any kind of BDA. Fuel is 6.2, so we're almost bingo.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles, 5,000.
Still got 3 AMRAAMs left. They give us the same symbol as like a Mirage in the RWR. I'm going to hook around left now and see if there's anything pursuing us from the north. And I'm going to sweep out 80 miles on the FCR left gimbal.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 110, 100 miles, 22,000.
Okay, we got a couple contacts at 22,000. Could be more fighters, but they're actually out cold. They don't look like they're paying attention to the tornadoes. Okay, I'm going to come off the power a little bit, like 95%. And let's just monitor the situation here. Put on an altitude hold.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 110, 100 miles, 22,000.
A couple of contacts at 10,000 that are sort of not really sure, kind of flanking, sort of cold, and then the 2 contacts at 22,000 that are cold on us. And AAA right in front, so I'm going to come left a little bit and keep everything off the right gimbal. Right about there. contacts 22,000 look like they might be coming in hot on us. Alright, I actually don't want to fight them. Not yet, anyway. And we're at bingo. Yeah, the way I see it, there's kind of no value to shooting down fighters right now unless they are actually a threat to the package, and I don't think they are yet. At this stage in the game, I think I'd rather use my AMRAMs on some attackers. Prevent them from bombing anything valuable on our side of the flot. So I'm just going to push out a little bit cold again.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles. 22,000.
What is that? We got a Hawk now, kind of coming active. Sentry Sting 1, requesting bogey dope.
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1. Request vector to threat. Sting 1, Chalice 1. Nearest hostile MiG-29s. 2-shift bullseye. 115, 100 miles. 22,000.
119, 115, 100 miles, they said. Okay. Ooh, that's actually pretty close. That's kind of like 30 miles to our 5 o'clock. Yeah, those were definitely the contacts that we detected at 22,000. Alright, so let's go Buster. They could actually be very well hot on me right now. And I'm going to select steer 6, which is Mother. So if I do get in trouble, maybe I'll flow towards Mother. I kind of feel like they should still have a good supply of missiles and should be able to kind of cover us. I could always move towards the Hawk site as well. What I really should do is stay with the tornadoes.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 110, 100 miles. 22,000.
Because I really shouldn't take for granted that they're home free at all, even though they are across the flot and they look like they're RTB. You know, I've had enemy packages push on their home base before. You know, they've already destroyed Satchon, so I should probably stay with them for a little while longer. We got Patriots active in that direction.
1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles. 22,000.
Sentry Sting 1-1, bogey dope.
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1. Request vector to threat. hostile MiG-29 bullseye. 115, 100 miles. 22,000. Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles. 22,000.
Okay, so they're kind of about like 60 miles away now. It doesn't really feel like they're interested in us. Which is good, because I'm pretty low on fuel. You know what I could do? I always forget. Stores and jettison. These mountings for the JSOWs can actually take up, I think, an unrealistic amount of drag and weight. So, yeah, we just gained like another 3,000 feet in our optimal cruise altitude. So, let's come up a bit. Switch from an altitude hold to an attitude hold.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles. 22,000.
Okay, there's 29,000 right above the cloud layer. Back on the altitude hold. Okay, I'm going to hook around right now. I feel like these tornadoes are pretty safe. I don't see any contacts in the area, so I'm just going to hook around right and see if there's anything worth shooting my AMRAAMs at. And then I'll probably RTB here pretty quick. Okay, there's a mysterious contact at 17,000. Sentry, declare contact bullseye 146, 114, 17,000.
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1. Declare. Sting 1-1, Chalice 1. Contact confirmed hostile. Again is Q5.
Sting 1. Okay, so that's perfect. We'll engage them. Sentry, Sting 1, committing, 2-ship Q5, bullseye 146, 117, 17,000. Yeah, we'll go Twiz on them. Just fly the intercept. "35 miles out, speeds 320, 17,000. This is exactly what I was looking for to use my AMRAAMs on. 30 miles out, speed still 320, 14,000. I'm going to come down below the cloud layer so I can keep TGP on them.
Sunrise.
I only see one of them now. One of them might have gotten shot down by a hawk. And the other looks like he's maneuvering. 20 miles out. Speed's 310. 17,000. I don't see the wingman anymore. Yeah, he's maneuvering. I think he's got a hawk on him. Yeah, he just got hit. Sentry Sting 1-1, Grand Slam 2 times Q5s by Hawks at bullseye 147-129. Okay, let's continue our right-hand turn here. Just see if there's anything else threatening in the area. Okay, 2 more contacts at 4,000. Sentry Sting 1, declare contact, bullseye 144-099-04000.
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1, declare. Sting 1-1, Chalice 1, contact confirmed hostile.
Looks like a singleton. Speed's 150. Kind of think it's a chopper, maybe. Look how deep in our territory it is. Could be one of those like propeller planes, those AN-2s or AN-12s or whatever they are. It's 20 miles out. Can't really see it. It's like invisible. Why can't I see it? It's just like invisible. Oh, yeah, it's a chopper. Sentry Sting 1 committing hostile chopper, bullseye 145-103-02000. Is it even worth the AMRAM?
1, Fox 3 medium.
See if I can find his buddy after I splash this guy and put a couple heaters on him. Okay, that's a splash. Okay, I'm gonna go dogfight mode. Scan down low.
Lock.
Yep, locked him. Fox.
Altitude. Altitude.
And that's a splash. Sentry Sting 1, Grand Slam 2 times, choppers at bullseye. Stand by. Bullseye 143-103. Strober's left gimbal. Oh, and we got MiG-29 nails close. Oh, this is bad. We're low on fuel. Sentry Sting 1-1, request bogey dope.
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1, request vector to threat. Sting 1, Chalice.
Sting 1. Okay, I just jettisoned the center line as well. With this kind of a fuel state, we might have to land at an alternate now. If I had a little bit more information on these MiG-29s, like how far away they are, I could split S into them and engage. But they look like they're pretty close, according to the RWR. Sentry, Sting 1, requesting bogey dope.
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1. Request vector to threat. Sting 1, Chalice 1. I don't have anything right now.
Fuck.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 110, 100 miles, 22,000.
I don't think I even marked an alternate. How do they not have contact of these MiG-29s? Okay, they've gone dark on me, so I'm coming off the power, trying to conserve gas. I'm down to 900 pounds. Sentry, Sting 1-1, request vector to nearest divert field.
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1. Request vector to nearest
Okay, it's
landing
just
field.
behind me a little bit, I think.
Sting 1, Chalice 1. Divert field available, bearing 295, 15 miles. Backend channel 125, X-ray.
Sting 1-1 copy. So 15 miles away, bearing 295.
Radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles, 22,000.
I'm going to have to land and get some gas. I'll never make it back to Mother.
Charger 2, Chalice 1. Be advised. Threat aircraft bullseye. 165, 140 miles, 4,000.
Sentry 1, Sting 1-1, bogey dope.
Chalice 1, Sting 1-1. Request vector to threat. Sting 1, Chalice 1. I don't have anything right now.
So it can detect threat aircraft to the tornadoes, but it can't detect like anything near me. Seriously?
Altitude. Altitude.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles, 22,000.
13 miles out from this airfield. Oh shit, I'm totally screwed. Music on.
Caution.
I'm totally screwed.
Caution.
Totally boned.
Charger 2, Chalice 1. Be advised. Threat aircraft bullseye. 165, 140 miles, 5,000. 1, Fox 3 medium. 1, Fox 3 medium.
Chaff. Flare. Chaff. Flare. Chaff. Flare. Chaff. Flare. Chaff. Flare.
1, Pitbull.
Chaff. Flare.
There's the divert field. Okay, I see it.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles. 1, Pitbull. Charger 2, Chalice 1. Be advised. Threat aircraft bullseye. 165, 140 miles, 5,000.
Sentry Sting 1-1 is landing at divert field. Bullseye 143-113.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye. 115, 100 miles. 22,000.
I didn't even bother with the flaps on that landing. Just wanted to get down.
Charger 2, Chalice 1, be advised, threat aircraft bullseye, 165, 140 miles, 5,000. Tempest 2, Chalice 1, be advised, threat aircraft bullseye, 165, 140 miles, 5,000.
Got Nails 29 above me just over to my 11 o'clock. Yeah, so I'm down to one heater now. I'm just going to get some fuel and then burn my way back out to Mother as soon as it's safe to do so.
Charger 2, Chalice 1, be advised, threat aircraft bullseye, 170, 140 miles, 5,000. Tempest 2, Chalice 1, be advised, threat aircraft bullseye, 170, 140 miles, 5,000. Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye, 120, 15,000.
Down to 400 pounds of gas, which is kind of like 2.5 in an F-16. Not 2.5, sorry. 250 pounds. I wish it was 2.5. Alright, good enough. Let's hot pit refuel here. Okay, I'm gassing up.
Charger 2, Chalice 1, be advised, threat aircraft bullseye, 170, 140 miles, 5.
Sentry Sting 1-1 is touchdown at alternate airfield. Current posit is
Tempest 2, Chalice
146 113. Requesting bogey dope.
5,000. Chalice 1, Sting 1-1, request vector to threat. Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye, 120, 80 miles, 15,000. Sting 1, Chalice 1, nearest threat, MiG-29, Singleton, bearing 295, 15 miles, 15,000.
295, 15 miles. We're naked on the RWR for MiG-29, so I think it's probably safe to take off. We're just going to burn our way all the way home. It's 100 miles away.
Tempest 2, Chalice 1, be advised, threat aircraft bullseye, 170, 140 miles, 3,000. Tracker 2, Chalice 1, be advised, threat aircraft bullseye, 170, 140 miles, 3,000. Project 2, Chalice 1, be advised, threat aircraft bullseye, 170, 140 miles, 3,000. Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye, 150, 80 miles, 25,000.
I should have put on some flaps there.
Sunrise.
I'm not used to taking off off of airfields. I totally forgot.
Threat aircraft bullseye, 170, 140 miles, 3,000.
Sentry Sting 1 is airborne from alternate field at bullseye 146113, RTB at this time.
Aircraft bullseye 170, 140 miles, 3,000. Chalice 1, Sting 1-1, request picture. Sting 1-1, Chalice 1, picture is multiple groups. Nearest hostile at bullseye 150, 80 miles, 25,000. Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye 150, 80 miles, 25,000.
So we're looking for Angels 2-9, just coming left to our steer point now.
Tracker 2, Chalice 1, V5, twin aircraft bullseye 170, 140 miles, 3,000.
Okay. On heading, we'll set the AP and just continue climbing and burn all the way up to Angels 2-9. We've officially lost all the tornadoes on the data link. I think they're just out of range. There's not really anything I can do for them with one heater. Okay, there's Angels 2-9.
Chalice 1, radar contact bullseye 150, 80 miles, 25,000.
And 85 miles to go. Marshall Sting 1-1 is on initial.
Good morning. Sting 1-1, cleared for landing. Check gear down. Sting 1-1, execute missed approach.
Sting 1-1, inbound for landing.
Good morning. Sting 1, welcome back.
Sting 1-1, breaking 1 mile.
Chaff, flare.
Oh man. I hope Mother doesn't collide with any ships like last time when I'm like right on final. Alright, so we're looking for probably heading like 250 or something, maybe 260 for the downwind here. Altitude's good. And we're on speed. Marshall, Sting 1-1 is a beam, hook, gear, flaps, state 3.1. Yeah, we're actually just a little bit farther than we should be at this point from mother, but that's okay. We'll make like a wide turn. Okay, I'm kind of at the 90 there. We sort of want to be around 400 feet or so at the end of this. And if there was a wake, we would almost be crossing it now.
Good morning. Sting 1-1, cleared for landing. Check gear down.
A little bit low, actually. Marshall, Sting 1-1, ball, 3.0 manual. Okay, that's pretty good. Alright, not bad. Sting 1-1 on the deck, good trap. Alright, well, that was an interesting one. As usual, the MiG-29s, well, the DPRK forces in general, they just have a knack for catching you with your pants down. Everything will seem totally fine. You'll be like, oh yeah, I'll just go use these AMRAAMs on these last couple of choppers, no problem. And then right as soon as that happens, the MiG-29s come to get you. Totally unprepared for it. Well, at least it was interesting. We'll see you guys in the debrief. Thanks for watching. Okay, we're back in the briefing, and I'm definitely recording this time. Another air medal. Although this is kind of crazy. How did we only get 2 air-to-air kills? We definitely splashed those 2 choppers. Oh my god. I had 4 misses on the AMRAAMs. So those first 2 MiG-29s that we engaged, we never even hit them, and they never became a problem again either. It's kind of strange. But then we hit the chopper, obviously, and then our next 2 AMRAAM shots were also misses. That's unbelievable. Because I feel like those last 2 shots were really close too. I mean, I know I didn't hold till the pit bull or anything. Oh yeah, now actually that I think about it, these first 2 that we pickled at, yeah, we didn't get pitbull. We held until the husky. These 2 guys though, I mean, everything was happening so fast because I was actually trying to land on that alternate field. But I thought they were pretty close when I pickled on them. They felt like they were really close. I don't remember exactly what they were, but I thought they were like maybe 20 miles or something, less than that even. So we destroyed the M8 and obviously destroyed them with the heater as well. We saw that clear as day. Air-to-ground kills, we only got 15. So very similar to the 14 that we got the last time we tested JSOWs with 2,400 foot spacing and 2,500 foot endgame entry altitude. This time we tried 2,000 instead of the 2,500, and it didn't really make a difference. Yeah, it didn't really make a difference. I feel like it's almost kind of a waste of resources to use 4 JSOWs on a single tank battalion, because you can get, we got 10 easily per pair if we used them on different tank battalions. So we could get 20 kills versus the 14 or the 15 that we get by using all 4 on one tank battalion. But you know what? Maybe that was because we screwed up the pickle of the first one. Maybe the two, the second JSOW didn't necessarily go to exactly where we wanted it. So we have to factor that into this too. We'll check out the ACMI after this debrief and check that out to see if there's anything else we can learn about them. In other news, we didn't lose any of the tornadoes. That's good. They are all RTB'd safely. But then, why does it say I failed to protect the package from enemy aircraft? We successfully striked the primary target, but it says I failed to protect the package. Like, how did I fail to protect them? They're all okay. We didn't lose anybody. So they got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kills in the buildings. Let's check out the facilities now. Okay, so I think they struck this one. They're down to 0%. That's good. They destroyed the reactor, I'm going to assume. It's kind of funny that a cement factory has a reactor. What is that? Okay, whatever. Maybe I don't know much about the cement things, but... okay, another cement factory. They only damaged the buildings, so they're down to 50%. But they were only medium value, so I'm kind of okay with that. This one was very high, right? Yeah, very high, and it's destroyed, so that's good. This was a power plant, 0% operational. It was very high and destroyed, so perfect on that. And this is a steel mill, 60% operational, high value. They only damaged them. And yeah, we can't really see the damage. The building looks fine. But that's just the recon screen. It could be a little bit crumbled in the actual 3D. I'm not sure. So, I don't know. Interesting mission. I think the Tornadoes deployed their cruise missiles from 50 miles out. So we learned that. We learned potentially that 2,000 foot spacing didn't work any better for JSOWs. Yeah. All right. Well, interesting mission. Thanks for watching so far. I'll do a little bit of ACMI analysis, and if it's interesting, I'll attach it to the end of this video. Okay guys, we're back. Let's do a little bit of ACMI review. So here I was ingressing in on the tank columns, and off my left gimbal I picked up some contacts at 14,000. I assumed that they were MiG-19s or something. Turns out that they were actually MiG-23s, probably from that base up on the coast here. I think it's Kang Nung or Kang Nyung, however you pronounce it. It's back up to fully operational. If I would have known those were MiG-23s, I probably would have turned out cold. Tried to stay away. But it turns out it didn't matter because it looks like they were on an air-to-ground mission anyway. Deploying weapons on some kind of Hawk site over here, which looks like it's down to 2 vehicles, not good for us. And so I deployed my weapons at around 15 miles or something out from these this column here. Okay, so if you watched the video, you would have seen that the original tandem pickle that we did on the first 2 JSOWs failed. So there's a bit of a gap between those two. The second pair deployed fine. Got them off the rails at about 11 miles. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the spacing of these two. Interesting. So yeah, maybe my deployment wasn't so good. I should have come from more of like a east heading, because these things are actually not even on bearing yet, and they should be like range of bearing at 4 miles out. So yeah, maybe I didn't really give them enough space to kind of get on a proper heading. Yeah, they interesting. Yeah, they had to kind of overcorrect their turn to get back to their mark point. So next time I'm going to have to be a little bit more careful about how I deploy them. Oh my god, that only killed one thing, and this killed 3. That killed 4. And this was the first JSOW we launched. Okay, actually, you know what? That's interesting. So the spacing turned out to like work anyway, I think. I think it worked anyway. Because there's the spacing on the second pair, which is 2,400 feet. And then here's where the second JSOW hit, right there. Yep, that's about 2,400 feet. So the spacing worked anyway. So even if you don't get the successful like tandem deployment, the spacing, I guess, is still, what's the word? Like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like handed off to the weapons, all the telemetry data that it needs. So that's kind of cool, but we're still, like, JSOWs are just not nearly as powerful as I thought they were. They're basically just like guided Mark 20s. Okay, let's get back on us. This is where we are just pushing south to get to the tanker. MiG-19s and MiG-23s continuing to do their thing, running air-to-ground operations. Okay, so I hooked up with the tanker, came off him full of gas, found the tornadoes. Look at the naval group is like shooting for some reason. Oh, that's like a bunch of destroyers or cruisers or something. That's not even like our naval group. I don't know what they're shooting at. Just all testing their guns for some reason. Okay, so I join up with the tornadoes. Get in nice and max douchey tight with this one. And then they pull their UFO shit, 50G brake turn, high to the next steer point. Let's see what it looks like in ACMI. It doesn't look as extreme in ACMI, but I'm still pretty sure you can't do that. How many G's was that? Let's see how many G's they pulled. Whoops. Okay, Tempest. I should highlight Tempest. I want to highlight Tempest. Tempest 2-1. Where are you, Tempest 2-1? That's Tracker 2-1. Tempest 2-1. There we go. I want to see how many G's you pull. $9.9. That's all he pulls is just 9.9, really. Yeah, I don't know about that. It was like an impossible maneuver, it looked like, from my point of view. It was just like an instantaneous 9.9, though. Alright, so then I'm like struggling to catch up to them because they're accelerating up to 450 for their deployment. And now the naval group is shooting their guns. So I've seen that a couple of times before in BMS. I don't really know what causes it. It's some kind of weird glitch. Sometimes even when you're landing, they're just all shooting their guns. Good thing not at you or anything, but they're just like shooting them off into the distance. It's really weird, but I haven't seen that for quite a while. Like I don't think I've seen that yet in 4.33. Like 4.33 update 3, I mean. But I guess it still happens. I have no idea what triggers it though. Okay, so I would normally like sort of try to figure out the range to the war production facilities, but I don't think those things show up in TAC view. I have no idea how to select that kind of stuff. So we just have to go off of what we saw in the cockpit, and they deployed right around 50 miles. Okay, so there goes the Taurus KEPD 350s from the first flight. Yeah, they maintain pretty decent speed too. I guess they're powered. I don't know much about this weapon, guys, so forgive me like my lack of knowledge, but they must be powered if they're maintaining 350 knots like that. And then Tempest deploys theirs. I should have tried to stay in formation, but I got lock on these MiG-29s off my left gimbal. So I went to engage them. Let's select the MiG-29s over here. Okay. Detected them at just over 40 miles. There's IL-28s operating in the area too. I don't know if I'm going to win this war, guys. It's feeling more hopeless every mission I fly. Alright, so I launch at like around 27 miles or something. Because I think, yeah, they started hard spiking me, which you can see by the dotted red line. Yeah, it was around 25 miles I think I launched. And I think they were right around the same. Let's see that one more time. Yeah, 25 miles is, we both launched at pretty much the same time. And this time I'm like actually jousting with them. Because that last mission, that's when I kind of discovered that these guys have active missiles. So now I'm like in like a crank, keeping them off on the gimbal, but reducing my forward rate of closure. Just like basic jousting tactics. They're kind of doing the same thing actually, which I don't usually see AI do. That's pretty cool. And now I've given up the lock, I think after just Husky. And my missiles still have decent speed, Mach 2. These ones don't even come close to catching me. So let's focus on the MiG-29s here. Let's see what happens with my missiles. We know from the debrief that they missed. So yeah, they're already losing energy down to about Mach 1.5. They're still just too far out. So yeah, they never even really got close. So a shot from 25 miles out is not really going to be too effective other than making these guys kind of turn cold. And I can't really close much closer because they shoot at 25 miles. So they kind of like force your hand. They force you to do it. Which means a lot more of these BVR engagements going forward with MiG-29s at least are probably going to end up similar to this, like just neutral, kind of a standoff, firing from like beyond standoff range and turning cold, and everybody just kind of running out of missiles. So I think at this point, I picked up lock on the IL-28s, and I think I saw these guys further up on my FCR. They looked nose cold. It doesn't look like I locked them, but I figured that they were. I think I figured that they were bugging out, or I think I assumed that I splashed the MiG-23s or MiG-29s. Oh, that's so funny. Right as I turn off cold, they turn in hot. And then I turn back in to see where they are, and I get lock again, and that's exactly when they turn cold. Like, we're like synchronized swimming or skating or something. That is so funny. so funny. All right, let's take a look at some of these Taurus KEPDs. So yeah, they cruise at 450 knots. Whoa, and then they drop like so steeply. Just all of a sudden, they just come down. It's got to be like a 60-degree descent. Now, of course, we can't see the buildings down here that they're going after. I'm pretty sure all of them hit their targets, but some of them just didn't have enough wallop to destroy their targets. So the next pair went down there, third pair went down there, and the fourth pair went down there. That's kind of neat. All right, well, we learned a little bit about those weapons, at least how the tornadoes behave when they're deploying them and how the missiles themselves behave. Interesting. So now I'm flowing out cold with tornadoes, and they hang right here as kind of part of the flight plan I made for them. So they're going to go this way and then make a little bit of a left-hand turn, and I think RTB in kind of that sort of direction, or recover in that kind of a direction. So when I saw these Charger 2-2 or Charger 2-1 and Tempest 2-1, when I saw them kind of break right, that's when I figured I could probably swing back in and see what else was out there. Look at all these Patriot shots. I assume shooting at this MiG-29 over here, which I don't think is the MiG-29s we were engaging over here. I think it's different. This is why I'm low on missiles. You know, why my blue forces are getting like low on supply. They fire like 1 million missiles at the same thing. That's freaking crazy. Have fun dodging that. So, okay, that MiG-29 gets killed. Let's forward the clock a little bit. Oh my god, look at all those missiles. And then I pick up those Q5s. And as I verified on the FCR, I lost contact of one of them, and the second one gets hit by, it looks like there's a Hawk inbound on it, and these are Patriots inbound on it, so pick your poison. Place your bets. Patriot wins. And then I continue the right-hand turn. I see some choppers, I believe. Mi-8s, to be precise. And they don't even show up in ACMI until you get like, that's interesting. Let's see if we can see them here. Where are these Mi-8s? Because remember how we were looking at them with the TGP, and there was just an empty spot where the crosshairs were looking, right? So it kind of looks like choppers don't even exist in the three-dimensional kind of world of the game until 15 miles from you, or you know, whatever kind of sensor is engaging them. So yeah, even on the TGP, you can't see it until you get there. So anyway, yeah, I put a Fox 3 on one of them just because I was like, it was what I already had sort of selected, and I just went with it. And then I went down, picked up the other in dogfight mode, and put an AIM-9 on him. And that's when I got Nails 2-9 from this group right here. So it looks like, where are they? It looks like a 2-ship group of MiG-29s escorting a 2-ship group of Q5s. But I had no idea what range they were at or anything. They actually looked pretty close on the RWR, so I just turned-tailed and ran. I actually thought they were hot on me, but it looks like they were not even, they were just continuing their flight plan. And I just burned a ton of fuel trying to get away from them. This is when they were no longer tainting me, I guess. Not that they ever really were to begin with, but they weren't in my RWR. So I came around. I picked them up. Or no, I think, yeah, now I was just actually landing. I was descending and figuring, okay, I figured they turned around at this point. That's right. That's what I was thinking. So I'm just descending, trying to get visual on this runway strip. And then, yeah, the MiG-29s picked me up, and now they're like actively engaging me. And I'm struggling to get, master arm again, and I ended up locking the Q5s instead of them. And then I realized, no, there's no way that's them. They feel like they're closer. So I try to break the lock, pick these guys up instead, just having a helmet fire. I think I picked them up. Okay, good. So a Hawk is shooting at them. That's why they didn't even get any shots off on me. This guy locks me. I lock up the guy turning cold and put a missile on him. I don't know if I ever got a lock on the lead. Did I? Okay, I did have a lock on the lead. Oh yeah, okay, so I put a missile on the lead. I put a missile on the guy turning cold. I didn't have time to think about who's hot, who's cold, whether it's worth it or not. I just got 2 shots off. I was down to 500 pounds of gas or something at this point. I had an R-27 inbound on me, which I think is a heat seeker because I never got any kind of launch warning. That Hawk missed. And I know from the debrief that my missiles miss. This one that's actually kind of close is at Mach 1.4, so it's already getting way too slow. Because the MiG's at 1.1. Yeah, so it's never going to catch it. And this one's not even close to catching it. That's what you get for firing on a MiG-29 that's already cold on you. But I didn't care. I just wanted them to bug out and leave me alone so I could land. There's the tornadoes. They're all descending to 5,000 feet on their pattern. We got more Patriots inbound. I'm on final approach now at 600 feet. Landing without flaps on. The angle of attack and the glide slope all looked really good, so I just kind of held it to the touchdown, but I didn't realize until after I got wheels on the ground. I was going pretty fast. I was going 180 or maybe even 200. And that's because I didn't put on any flaps. I thought, whatever, I'm just going to land without them, but I should have put on some flaps. Maybe half flaps would have been perfect. But it's okay. It worked out because the F-18 has some really strong landing gear. MiG-29s turned back in. It looks like one of them got shot on by the Patriot and defeated it at the last second. My God, that's crazy. Look at that. Look at that. I don't know how it detects it. You would never see that. If that was a human pilot, he would never see that Patriot inbound. So that's AI bullshit for you. Sees it at the last second. It does this perfect brake turn to get away. Yeah, bullshit. Just looked up and saw it, huh? Let's forward the clock a little bit. So there's more missile launches from the Patriot. And a Hawk launching at this MiG-29. I think the Hawk's going to get him. He's at 1.8. Yeah. So that MiG-29 got splashed by a Hawk. And there's 2 Patriots, I think, inbound either on this one or this one. Let's see. Yeah, inbound on the one that got splashed. More Patriots inbound on the Q5s, missing. A couple more inbound on the next MiG-29, and they get that MiG-29. Okay, So he goes down. One of the Q5s got splashed. I didn't even see it happen. What did it get hit by? Oh, it got hit by Hawk. And then the other one ends up also getting hit by Hawk. So that's cool. Everything got destroyed. A couple more MiG-29s up to the north, probably also escorting something that's not like showing an ACMI yet because it's too far away. But I've departed and I'm in just full burn RTB home. And then off my left gimbal, I picked up more fighters. I believe they were 22,000. Yep, and they were MiG-23s this time, not MiG-29s. Either way, I didn't want to engage them. I only had one here left, so I leaned right and then RTB'd to the naval group. Went to the wrong steer point at first. Figured out the correct one. And then I had some pretty spectacular Case 1 pattern work. Beautiful initial. Just gorgeous. Look at that turn after the beam. This time, none of the destroyers or cruisers collided with the Vincent on my approach. That's what we like to see. Okay, well, it was an interesting mission. I don't know if what we did was really going to be too helpful. But I wanted to just kind of do something a little bit different for variety's sake and learn a little bit about tornadoes and those KEPD, Taurus, whatevers. So hopefully you guys found that interesting, and thanks for watching. We'll see you for the next one.